What's happening, people? So, being an established tradesperson, yeah, no matter what trade you're in, is going to benefit you so much by your customers speaking about your craftsmanship, the way you do work, how professional you are. All of these things add into you being established. And being established takes a period of time. It doesn't come overnight. I think by people speaking about your experiences when you do visit them as a tradesperson, whether you're a man or female, it does definitely have an impact on how people view you. So listen to what I'm about to say to you guys, which is getting the right reviews, making sure that you have the right amount of customers to be able to deliver your service here is very important. I think we find it hardest to be able to compete with others when it becomes to a tradesperson's point of view, because you got other people who will give you quotes who will be cheaper. You got someone who will undercut you, which happens in life. How you deal with it is finding a different strategy which works better for you, whether that's dropping down your prices, being able to um, quote or estimate for people on numerous amounts of projects. Sometimes I've found personally that that's made my day take a lot longer, and it's not really making me established because I'm going to loads of different people and they just want a quote, they just want an invoice, or they just want to know how much something's going to cost. That's always going to cost me money in the long run, and it's also going to affect business at some point because I could be doing a job while I'm quoting for a job. It's not all the time that you get all the jobs what you want. I understand that. But being established, you need to start to grow a name for yourself. And growing a name starts with your company and how you put yourself out there. I put myself out there as a plumber who is actively learning about plumbing still trying to educate others, but also bringing light to the industry, because the industry could be a dark place for people at the beginning. We don't always have someone to go to when it comes to, oh, could I ask you about this question? Or do you know about that? There isn't so many people available and people are quite closed off. So I do these types of lives where I speak and I talk about how you can build your community, but also how you can build your rapport with your next customer. My next customer might be someone online. There are many people who watch my videos and contact me about different things. Like, someone contacted me about they needed a job done. I always ask for people, if you got some videos and pictures, it will help, because that saves me the time of going out to visit someone and to be able to waste that time possibly looking at something when I can see it ahead, be prepared and be ready to do the job. I think it's a lot more, it's a better workflow, me working like that, being able to see the job, do the job, fix the job, and get paid for the job. That's how I move in 1, 2, 3. So, how you choose to do that as an individual is personally up to yourself, isn't it? I do that because of my own experiences and the type of industry I work in, which is people want things done now, innit? So I'm able to do that, and just to be able to meet my expectations of my customer. Everyone else has got different expectations. Again, I try to build my name up by showing up in my community, doing things like on Facebook, and making sure that I'm present in my community. That is a big thing, people. Making sure that you show up for your community and giving the best what you can do due to your circumstances. Sometimes this does happen. There are 1 or 2 jobs which I've not been able to fix there and then because someone needed a new tap, they needed a new fitting, they needed something which I didn't have on me. Learn from those mistakes, and I've tried to move a lot better because I'm thinking about the reputation of the company which I've built up from nothing, basically. Again, having nothing, you are at a good point, but you've got a lot of work to do. And I've realized that over the years, I've never stopped working on Mr. London Plumber. I've had to work on Mr. London Plumber with my content, how I deliver things, how I am professionally on camera. Again, I've not had any type of training or nothing. I just tell people what it's like for me as a tradesperson and how you could learn from some of my mistakes, but even get better. So thinking about your company culture, that is a big thing. Company culture is what your business is based on. My business is based on transparency, honesty, and doing the job. Those three things only. Um, every other business has their own business culture, and you should ask them, what is the business culture here? Like, what do you represent? Like, what do you stand for? I stand for doing a good job. I stand for customer service and completing the job. There might be the three things that you pick for yourself. Again, they can be different to everybody else, but I do want you guys to think deeply about this when you are starting a company or when you are starting to present yourself to the public, because these are the things which will skyrocket your company into oblivious amounts of work, because people like how you are in general. So just think about that. I get so many messages from people who have said to me, Jay, I've watched one of your videos. I want you to come and do the plumbing. And what that makes me think is that I'm doing a good job representing myself, but also representing my company. I also I wanted to be like a household name, like in London, period, because it's where I'm from. I'm called Mr. London Plumber. So eventually I wanted to train up some people to be able to get them into the same mindset as I have when it comes to doing jobs. But that's very hard to find, but it's not undoable. At the end of the day, you've got to search for these types of people, but also find yourself in a place where you now understand what the customer wants. That's very important to building a representation of yourself. And I refrain from doing little silly things, talking shit about customers, making posts and coming out and saying like, oh, that person done me wrong and that person. I will always make posts about workplaces, plumbing companies, maintenance companies, and what my experience is like with them. I'm not trying to discredit theirs, but I'm trying to be transparent about my own. So that's why I do that. And if you ever see me make posts about people like that, it's only because someone I've felt has done me wrong, and people should know about it. It's not to say that I've not learned from many of those experiences. I definitely have. I think when you're in my shoes, which I'm able to make content about it and tell people what exactly happened, it's all for clarity for other people. Clarity makes things very clear between you lot. Being transparent, that is one thing that I am solid about doing in my practices as a plumber. And I've learned a lot of these things from my uncle Llewellyn. I've got someone in the chat right now just saying to me, do I know Llewellyn? Llewellyn is my uncle, of course. Look at him. He looks a little bit like me, but that is my uncle. He showed me that when we go to properties, or when I'm going to properties, I'm a representation of myself when it comes to being a plumber, how to act, and being professional, making sure that I carry a dust sheet, making sure that you tidy up after yourself. And one person will tell someone else about you. They will speak highly of you when it comes to your business. These are things which you will never, ever, 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 ever learn in any plumbing course, because it's not really part of the curriculum which they teach you. They teach you about communicating, which is emails, you know, electric documents. That's what an email stands for. And they will teach you things about writing letters, possibly at some point, but not talking and having customer service with your next customer. That is not part of any plumbing course. They won't teach you anything like that. So these are the things which I come online and I tell you guys that you need to think about your representation when it comes to your company and what you're doing. So my business culture is about the company. So bear this in mind, people. I don't want you to let this go over your head. And if you are, and if you have been, like Alex is in the chat right now, he is, he's been taught by my uncle before. And I'm very thankful that people reach out to me and tell me about these types of things, because Look how I turned out. I turned out as Mr. London Plumber, starting my own business. I've worked with loads of different brands, and I'm on my way to keep working harder and just progressing. So if you have a good teacher, a good lecturer, a nice guy, or someone to learn from, take heed from them and understand you could be they could be your mentor. And my uncle is my mentor. So I have a good understanding about business and how it's operated, but also how to do things on my own. Because again, you take styles from different people, but you got to turn them into something which can work for you. Do you get it? He's not me and I'm not him, but I've taken his understanding when it comes to being a good plumber, how to operate, how to run a business, and tweaked it for myself, and was able to pick up on things which I've done over subcontracting, which I've spoke about many a times before, how to operate and how to move and how to make sure that I successfully get that job or execute that job in the right way. If you enjoy these types of lives where I come on and I tell you stuff like this, I highly advise you to subscribe to my channel, because this is not the only content which I do. I do also do some uploading content, first fixes, second fixes. I go through plumbing jobs, problems, when I'm on the job, day in your life, all of that stuff. So definitely check that out. Stick around and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all of the people who have subscribed and are dropping comments, because I've got a few emails which I will be doing some readouts soon, which some young people have contacted me and said some really nice things. So I want to share them with my community, innit? Just because I feel like I'm helping, but I want to help as much as I can for you guys who are getting into the trade and are interested in being plumbers. Again, stick around, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the other side. It's Mr. London Plumber. Subscribe. Have a great day as well, most importantly.